Hi, welcome back to another video. We are going to be adding the tentacles to the knitted head. So we have the head, the tentacles, the eyes have been added. Those are the tails from the eyes. In a previous video I said you decide how you want your tentacles. Do you want them grouped together or do you want them spread out and they hang? I'm going for spread out. And because of that, I need to move this tail to the back. So I'm just going to pull it through. And then my head plonks on top of that. We'll make sure those little guys are tucked away afterwards. But for now, what we need to do is make sure that it stays in the right place while we put a couple of stay stitches. So using another needle, use a long one. I'm going to go through the center of my tentacles and through the center of my head, and that will keep it in place. That's my guide. Position it correctly, tentacles are all out the way. I was actually thinking the other day of using a sock. I actually put one here. I went to fetch a clean sock. I'm going to use this to hold all my tentacles. I'm not using this thread at the moment either, so I will hold it as well. The only thing that I want out is the tail of the thread. Now this is a short sock. I'm sure you can find a way of doing this if you have a longer sock. Now remember this chap here is holding everything in place, which means you don't have to worry about it shifting around. You don't need to be guided by anything. Okay, there we go. I'm happy with that. Now your tentacles are out the way. And you are going to make sure that's in place. Yes, it is. Now you can tuck away those little black threads. This is the blunt needle. I'm going to see if it works or if it doesn't work. So what I want to do is I want to anchor it. And I'm going to anchor it by going to a couple of these outside points. But always making sure that your disc, for want of a better word, that your disc is not warping in any way. Because otherwise it's going to bulge. So we'll just go through, come out here. As I said, I don't know if this blunt darning needle is the ideal one. Catching, coming out there. The problem with the pointed ones, the chenilles, that if you're not careful, they can catch on anything and everything because of their point. The blunt ones are more forgiving. Like for instance, if I came out here, the pointed one would probably catch on my sock and annoy me. We just want to anchor it. And then I can take that needle out the top there, which is making this work a little bit inconvenient. I know it's a bit far away, so hopefully my voice is guiding you into what you should be doing. Because I'm actually using the table as a support. Otherwise I could hold it closer, but you see it's like a round ball, and the table is allowing me to roll the ball in the direction that it's going, or that it's needed. Go in there, This one over here, let me see one of the cross on the other side. Yeah, there is one, because ideally you're working from one side to the other. The blunt needle doesn't like to go through the stuffing when it's so tightly stuffed. Whoops. And then I'll come back and find that spot again, right next to the last one. The last one was there, but I couldn't go from there to there, because the whole point is you want to anchor it. Okay, I'll take this guy out, and I'm also going to change needle. I want to go for this really sharp one, the one that I just pulled out actually. He's quite skinny and he's very sharp. So I have to be careful because my sock is probably going to get in the way. Go in there. Now what I want to do is I want to start anchoring this here. Make sure that the black is gone. Now I've changed needle because the darning needle just would not be happy to go through all of that. Trusty pliers again. Sometimes you might actually find that you have to go in. You have to go all the way out here and turn around and go back. Be careful of dimples. It's creating a little dimple. Go underneath. You pull away the yarn from the dimple. Go in. Try and come through a hole. Don't catch the creamy yarn. Go back in exactly where you came out. And this is only the first tail we're using. The second tail is going has another whole job to it, because you really, really want this to be so firmly anchored. Okay, I'm going to be taking him out of the sock now. Just one last so I can cut him off. Okay, this tail has done his job. Use the back of the needle and you tuck that little piece in there. We're not finished. We are not finished yet. Tuck the black away. We're not finished yet at all. This time I'm going to take my blunt darning needle and let's use that sock again. Let's put these little tentacles into the sock. There we go. What we want to do is, first of all, we'll just close off this gap. There we go. What we are going to do is we are going to work all the way around, and we are going to be anchoring the cream to the grey. I'm using my blunt darning needle because what I really want to do is I want to catch the V's where possible. 2, come to the grey, catch what I can on the grey. Remember, we're working with knit and we're working with crochet. The structure of the work is different. If it was knit and they're both stocking stitch, we could just catch a V on the one side and catch a V on the other. So there's my little V. Now I have 40 centimeters of grey tail to work with, so I can relax. You could have done this with the beige as well if you wanted to. just happen to be doing it with the grey. It's actually not actually beige, is it? It's cream. Beige is much stronger than this. Remember, this little guy is probably going to have quite a life. And you want to know that no matter how much his little legs, his little tentacles are being pulled, that he's not going to be working. They're not going to work the head off the tentacles. I'm going to go all the way around. So I'm 11 minutes in, but I always liked making things in series, which means that I would make a bunch of heads and a bunch of legs, and then I'd do all the eyes, and then I'd do all the tentacle attaching, because you have the right tools with you, you have everything that you need, and you just do one after the other. So working in a batch, not in a series. I like to work in batches. It really does speed up the process. If you're making one off, obviously that's different. And I've come back to where I started. And so I'm just going to finish off and then work away this yarn. I'm first going to go into the center of the work of the grey. See, it's a little bit bulgy there. This is what I wanted to avoid, was that bulge. It's tricky. It's tricky to anchor it and not get a bulge. Now that I've done this, I can come out somewhere in the body and cut it off. Go inside and put it away. There he is. He is done. Quite a different expression. And the size is different. Why? Because I was 2 stitches. This was 43 stitches, and this one here was 45. Long story, but that's how it is. You can see the difference, huh? I also used sock needles with this one. And these ones I used 2 straight needles, which I found very tricky. And I couldn't get the tension I wanted. I wanted it to be really tight. This one, I feel that it's a lot more compact than this one. So changing your technique or the needles that you're using can vastly change the result. No two will ever look the same. Okay, there we go. Whoops. So there we go. And thanks for watching. Bye for now. Oops, my whole thing is falling apart, but that's the life of makeshift videos. I do actually have an arm. I think I need to set it up.